Welcome to Shower Thoughts Unlimited. I'm your host, Sasha. In this episode, we'll be talking to Jess about their thoughts on the restaurant industry. Now, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Thanks, Sash, for having me. My name is Jess, and I work in electric kitchen design.
Ooh. What did you study in college to get you here?
I studied something related, but not directly. I studied Earth and Planetary Science and was really interested in the connection between climate and food security.
What got you fascinated with restaurants to begin with?
I got interested in restaurants. I don't really know why or how, but I knew from a young age I really enjoyed cooking shows and cooking, and I always wanted to be in a kitchen. I remember thinking at a young age that it was really important for us to know how it is that we nourish ourselves and our communities. It didn't really make sense to not understand where your food came from or how to provide for your family. So it kind of started there in middle school, and that interest grew over time.
So, for restaurants as an industry, especially in SF with high rent, are they a profitable model at all?
That's a fascinating question, and actually, my hot take is that we should abolish restaurants precisely because it is an industry with such low margins. It makes those places very ripe for exploitation and coercion and really unjust labor practices. On the one hand, I know that restaurants are a way for people to make a living for themselves who might be barred from other forms of employment. But at the same time, it is a very extractive industry. The margins are razor thin, sometimes 1% to 3%. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard in San Francisco.
Then, continuing from that, what about tipping culture and just how it's kind of just circling the money in between consumer to consumer instead of actually doing any good?
So yeah, tipping, it is two things. There's like the present day reality. A lot of folks do depend on tips in order to make their bills. So you kind of need it to be able to pay for life now. On the restaurant owners' end, they depend on tips in order to supplement what they are not able to make through selling drinks or food, right? And for the customer, it is a little annoying when you just go in to buy a coffee and all of a sudden a 10% tip.
We love it when they turn around the iPad.
Oh God, right? So you feel this pressure, and it used to be a fee reserved for when you sat down at a restaurant, right? But the entire reason that we even have that culture is an outgrowth of the enslavement. Folks didn't want to pay Black workers fair wages, and so a way to circumvent that was to just have them rely on tips. It really is a way to absolve employers from being able to run their business and pay people a fair living wage.
But I've also heard of your dreams to start one in the city. What's that look like? And are there any support or tax benefits or something that SF can give to you?
I do one day dream of opening some sort of cafe. But I think the reason that it is taking as long as it is because I want to research and vet out business models that are equitable, that are liberatory. And I think in San Francisco, there are a lot of really cool resources to help first-time business owners, for sure. And libraries also can connect prospective entrepreneurs to the Northern California Business Development Council. And there you can get free advice and mentorship in opening a business. They can help direct you to grants and funding. But I think ultimately the business model itself is what needs to change. And so I'm exploring different ways to, maybe we don't even generate revenue from the food we sell, but maybe we generate revenue from another business, right? So maybe selling digital products online. And because of the popularity of that gives enough money to run the rest of the food part of the business at a loss, because it'll be a net positive, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be feeding the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think maybe if restaurants and having waiters, dishwashers, cooks, if it was only cooks, do you think takeout culture as a whole is an answer, a solution to this?
Oh, meaning not having people dine in
Yeah,
and just being able to.
axing dining in and just being like only drive out, only pick up.
Fascinating. That is, I think it is a potential workaround, right? There's always the ideal and there's always the reality, and there's always the path that you have to take between the ideal future and the current reality. I think that by offering takeout only, folks are able to cook without having to worry about the dining experience and all the labor and costs associated with that. So margins might go up. But a lot of companies like DoorDash or like Uber are hopping on that ghost kitchen train. They take a huge margin from the restaurant, the ghost kitchen, in order to connect them with delivery, right? Because these kitchens can't pay for their own delivery systems. And so whatever margin
They
would have gotten is now taken by.
So the money saved ends up going to the middleman.
Exactly. So I think maybe there is a way to do it that doesn't involve middlemen, and that could possibly help a business. Yeah. Yeah, like a quick food stall. And it's a model that you see in a lot of other countries too. Other countries subsidize a lot of their food workers, like for example Singapore. But they have that model where you go to a night market or a hawker center and one stall specializes in maybe 3 dishes, and you don't eat there. They just focus on giving you the food. You buy the food and then you go find a place to eat yourself.
To end it off, what's your favorite spot in all of SF?
Oh gosh, there's so many. I enjoy going to Papa Max on Noriega. And what's nice about it is that they have a menu with choices, but it's not overwhelming. They have outdoor seating, so if you're COVID cautious and you want to just enjoy the sunshine, you can do that. And there are multiple ice cream shops nearby, so you can go get dessert later.
And yeah, they don't have to worry about seating.
They don't have to worry about seating.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me.
And this was Shower Thoughts.